radio station. Now, this is a program in which we bring governors, leaders, opinion leaders, professionals, experts, and community leaders to explain what they are doing to make Zambia a great nation. And in today's edition of Audio Voice, we tackle a timely topic called misinformation in a time of digital proliferation, and in particular in a time of the COVID-19, which is both a local and international pandemic. We have a technical challenge with our phone system, and our our technical team rather, is working round the clock to get it fixed. And so we encourage you to send us WhatsApp and voice messages on the number 0978325332. And if the line is on, we'll get on to open the phone line and you will be able to call in live on radio. My name is Margaret Mwanza once again, and in the studio with me is Mr. Chandela Mukondo, who is the team leader of the Patriotic Front PF social media team. And Mr. Mukondo, good morning and welcome to the program for today.
Good morning, Margaret. It's so humbling to be here once again, and especially that we are in what you are talking about, the COVID pandemic environment. It's really to be, it's making us to appreciate our existence. And all the time that when we wake up, we give thanks to God that we are among those who are living, and we continue praying for those who are affected.
Amen. And we continue even taking up those adhering to the preventive measures that have been put in place by the Ministry of Health, by government through the Ministry of Health. And I just saw Mr. Mukondo coming in with a face mask, and I know you are actually we are actually giving ourselves a distance.
Yes.
And that is the 1
A good
meter
distance. Yes.
And so on this particular program today, we focus on this particular topic, that is misinformation in a time of digital proliferation, and in particular in a time of the COVID-19, which is both local and international pandemic. Now, the current media landscape has a potential to facilitate the rapid development and spread of mis and disinformation. Social media can also be used to quickly and effectively counter mis and disinformation. Such positive opportunities must be identified and maximized. Mis and disinformation can proliferate when there is a lack, or conversely, an overabundance of information. Their spread can lead to non-compliance with public health measures, perpetuate political conflict and discrimination, and cause negative psychological and social effects. This program about the need to identify, stop, and deal with misinformation. And today, Mr. Mukondo is with us in the studio, and we'll actually get to tackle these issues that are to do with this particular topic that we have. We'll start by just asking you, Mr. Mukondo, to give us a simple definition of misinformation. Maybe we can just get started on that particular note.
Thank you very much. To us as a ruling party, and at the same time as leaders, misinformation, it's basically distorting of facts, deliberate distorting of fact by individuals. It could be organizations, or deliberate just agents of some institutions that would want to benefit out of disinformation of our people. So misinformation nowadays, especially with the advent of social media, we cannot too much talk about disinformation, because disinformation was where deliberate you do get rid of documents or some source of information so that people do not have that information. But what we are having today, it's a big challenge. It's too much of misinformation. We have a lot of players who are purveyors of fake news, and at a click of a button, somebody would do misinterpret facts the way it is, deliberately, especially with the social media. They normally tag individuals, or they use big names, so that once they use that name, attach that misinformation, they will make it go far beyond the boundaries where we are as individuals. So basically, for us, we are looking at misinformation as the deliberate. It could be political, religious, but deliberate manipulating of facts. And it can also go into what we are classifying as negative propaganda. Because it's not always that the word propaganda would mean something negative, but it would mean also is it purveying negative, either negative or the positive side of it. So that's where we are as the world today, especially in this world of the pandemic, COVID. You find other people, they are deliberately misinforming people that, in fact, to start with, this COVID-19, it's just something which has been manufactured by politicians, just something which has been manufactured by those who are very powerful out there, the superpowers, so that at the end of the day, there can be also some change of political power at those upper echelons at international level, or it could be also on our local level, the way there are also others who are bent just to make sure that they misinform people to their own advantage.
Okay, and let me just take you to the USA, where USA President Donald Trump
Yes.
was accused, or maybe I should say, is accused of a post by the president himself
Yes.
has been given a fact check label by Twitter for the first time. And so we're looking at misinformation, and so this is like a fact checking warning.
Yes.
And what is your comment on that one?
That one, in fact, I cannot even say it's the first time they are doing it with
With the
Facebook over Donald Trump. But we have also the Brazilian president, whom they had at one time had also given the same warning that he was misinforming the people. On Donald Trump, it's that one of is it chloroquine, which he has insisted on, and has been his main thing. You even hear, even said, for me, I'm even taking it as a preventive measure. But you find that the World Health Organization, through Dr. Trudeau's, who are mandated to carry the right information, to disseminate the right information, they are the people who are supposed to tell us on the status of chloroquine and other drugs if we were to use it for treatments. But from what we have been hearing, what we have been getting is that chloroquine is not being championed because that has a lot of side effects. So it is in on that platform, if you have said on that level, international level, if you pick the United States of American president, who has been given that hashtag of is it conveying or being a conveyor of false news. So you can see how far it is going, because others that are taking it, it has to be taken very seriously, and we need to involve the health expert in whatever activity we are doing. That's why even last I came last time, we talked about the 3 pillars that we are using here in Zambia, which have been championed by the World Health Organization, and which are we need to be scientific about this pandemic, so that at the end of the day, we do not listen to religious statements or political statements, so that we avoid off this fight, this COVID politics, which could be spinning from the religious background or from the politics itself. So the one for Donald Trump is such an example.
It's actually a tweet that is saying there is no way, zero in brackets, the mail-in ballots will be anything less than subsequently fraudulent. And this is something that has been actually labeled down there with it's actually in blue ticks where it's saying get the facts, already mail-in ballots. And this is a tweet that has actually it's been
looked at as
Yes.
propaganda.
Yes.
And then, the environment in which one Donald Trump is, he knows very well that he's in a political environment whereby there is a pending election in November. So whatever he's saying, the Twitter world, the Facebook world, the social media world, they are very much listening to whatever he's saying. So that whatever statement, you can even see, to us, that such a statement, it can be very difficult for us to understand the American language, what it means there, whatever, but they know that there is some connection with COVID. He's trying to say, he's preparing himself towards the COVID. Is it the November elections? But at the same time, he's also trying to attribute the COVID pandemic to either China, and then realigning himself using China. He also do what he did in 2016 using the Russia tag. So they are very much alive to the fact that this is the reason maybe he's trying to realign the American politics so that we use this pandemic. But the World Health Organization, it's an institution which has been there for a long time. And politics have been discouraged. And as he guided us, Dr. Trudeau, he said that we need to avoid at all costs, be at a partisan level, at international level, we should do not practice politics. And such a tweet, it is in those lines that it's not following the international norms. He's trying to play politics over a disease to gain mileage out of it, so that maybe come November, he could win those elections. So with us, as I said, we are following the international practices and international best practices which have been preached, so that whenever the president comes up with the statements, it does not also have the same tag which they have given the American president. So basically, we have stuck to what we are saying, the three pillars. That is being scientific about it, coming up with being factual and being historical, and then also following the international guidelines. So for us, as the ruling party, we would want everybody not to politicize this matter, but instead we should move in tandem with the times, that is the COVID politics. And I love what you have brought out. It's a very good classic example of what they are classifying as COVID politics, trying to look at an election which is coming in November as at to date, and then saying there's no way the election being reduced. It could be maybe it's talking about the people who are dying. A lot of people have died in the United States of America. There is a shocking number there of over 100,000. And Donald Trump, with his advisor, they had talked about the same numbers. Maybe they'll reach over even a target of, is it 100,000? And then they'll be reporting or posting every month, maybe 4,000 people will be dying per day. So these are some of the things that the international community is very much aware, and the health standards, they are against such. So as local people coming to the Zambian setup, we have to make sure that we do not post this Facebook or using our Facebook pages to misinform people, to provide, to use our platforms to be a source of misinformation. So it's a danger, really, especially that we thank God with our elections, they are coming almost 18 months from now. It's important that we continued on where we are at that now, so that as we get into June, the weather will be getting to our against us, to the other side. As we get into July, it will get extremely windy. August also windy and dusty. So we don't have to lose focus with what is pertaining on the ground. So leadership at this moment provide that we continue championing positive news to our people, telling them to continue following the international guidelines, continue wearing masks, and then also the social distancing, so that we may move out of this pandemic, which the president has said now it's no longer a pandemic which we just say to come and move out. It has come to stay with us. So we have to take it on as a new normal. So it is in this keyword, the new normal, that we need to make sure that as we are working, we make sure that we do not risk our neighbors. We also do not risk ourselves. So we have to treat our neighbors as people of COVID, and then also to treat ourselves as people who are the carriers of the same
And
COVID.
we do not want to spread.
We do not to spread that.
Okay, so what do you think of the argument that the perpetrators of misinformation generally have their focus on the short run, or maybe let me say short term, ignoring longer, wider, more important consequences?
In fact, you know, they look at the short thing. I would like to pick the example which we have at here in Zambia. Is that one of Honorable Dollars Lee, one who is our immediate boss on the information desk. You see, other people, just through what she said, others they took as an advantage to misinform other people to say, look, she was saying she was wearing masks, she was doing everything, sanitizing hands, everything she has said, but she got the virus at the end of the day. So it is important. It's just what she's just telling us is to say, even if we wear a mask, even if we do this, we sanitize ourselves, the virus will still get on us. So you can see how the purveyors of news do try to pick personalities, pick ministers, so that at the end of the day, they look at the immediate benefit, so that at the end of the day, they will find a subject, a debate in which they will use to tag that individual, and then maybe to create an environment which will benefit them. In this case, it could be political or religious. So with us, we would want to warn all those individuals that what they are doing is not good. And what you have talked about, you should look at the long-time implication. This virus, we don't know how long it will to be there, but historically, we can see from what happened in 1917 to 1922, the Spanish flu took almost 3 years, ravaging the world, and it killed over 50 million people. So these are some of the things that they should be looking at. Look at the moment, we have worldwide over 5 million people who are infected with the same virus. So basically, us in Africa, we could be facing very soon what is happening in Brazil. Brazil is now almost becoming the epicenter of the same virus. So let us look at the long term. Let us look at 3 months from now. Here we could be temporarily just be safe, but we don't know. As I said, as we get into June, July, and August. But even if we come out of this pandemic, it could be there for another 3 years. And this virus, as you know, it is keep on mutating. It's changing its characteristics. So basically, it's important that we continue on the positive trend, so that we do not waste or we do not waste this strong ground that we have at the moment, where we have only suffered 7 people. But our friends, if you look, they are dying in the hundreds. You find it is 667. That will be the total number of people infected here in Zambia. So basically, we would want to advise, to appeal to all those who are fake news, purveyors of fake news, to desist from that. They could be the same people very soon will be lying on the grave, in those graves that we are seeing being opened across the world. So basically, we should not look at those numbers as statistics, but we should look at them as people who are dying, people who are suffering. So that's our advice on the long term.
Okay, you tuned to United Voice Radio, Add Your Voice program, and today we feature Mr. Chandela Mukondo, who is who is the team leader of PF social media team. And maybe you can also briefly just give us an insight of what you do as a leader of this particular social media.
Yes. Basically, you know, social media is very important, and as a ruling party, we have come up with the team which has been selected under the leadership of one Sunday Chanda. And I'm one of those people who are leading the one on Facebook, and then on the WhatsApp group and Twitter. So we normally look at the positive side of government, what we have been doing, so that we provide that vital information across the nation, so that people are informed, so that they make proper informed decisions, and they are up to date with the developmental matters. So ours is that one of making sure that the information that start from the head of state, the vice president, our secretary general of the party, and the central committee. They are made sure that they are communicated to the masses. So basically, ours is that one of defending the party manifesto, and then also disseminating the same party manifesto, and then in line with the 7th National Development Plan. So as it is as at the moment, everything now is going around the COVID-19. So this is our task to make sure that we go out there, we give the people the right information so that they are not misinformed. And if we are not out there to give the people, it will also be mean disinformation. So that is our main role as social media. We have to be up to date with what is happening on social media. At the end of the day, we gather all the comments, or I can say all the strategic information, and forward it to our party so that at the end of the day, they use it to inform our people and make the right decisions. So basically, that is my role, and I've really loved it because I'm always on social media, and social media of today and of yesterday, it's very different. And the other thing is that we have realized how Barack Obama came on world stage. Even in 2011, the world is it the Arab Spring. We had seen how government were toppled. So we cannot underrate social media. And then also the coming in of the same man you have mentioned, the United States of America. Donald Trump used social media to the maximum to be where he is today. And he still uses social media, the same Twitters, directly to the people that he conversates with. So basically with that, that's how we came up with this information desk. That was in 2015. And I was tasked by then, I was the provincial secretary.
Okay, so now with this social media, I know there are some advantages and disadvantages. Do you face any challenges as you get to disseminate this information that you get to give out to the people there?
Yes, the main challenge is that if you look at the sources of information, we have so many individuals. And this is the way the social media now, the way it acts, an individual can behave like he is an institution, or two individuals, they'll behave like they are an institution in itself. So to face such individuals, you find that the way they disseminate information could be more on a faster side than us ourselves. You find that we'll be on a reactive instead of being on a proactive side. So these are some of the challenges that we have, especially that the source of information have increased so much. There's no monopoly now to the same intelligence. That's why I remember very well the president himself realizing the gravity of social media. He had to call you, the journalist, last year on the 9th of November 2019, where he even recognized the role that the media plays. But he warned you, the people from the formal sector, that you should not be part and parcel of this social media. And he said categorically that social media is for everyone, but journalism is for trained people. But today we find that trained people, once they also become part of the purveyors of fake news, it becomes extremely challenging on our part as the social media for a ruling party.
Okay, and social media itself, globe in scope, yet the behavior of social media users is locally specific. Mr. Mkondo, are some of the specific social media users' behavior that you are worried about that are specific in Zambia, that are specific to Zambians during this COVID-19 pandemic?
Yes, we have some of them which are very specific, like which I can say, which have been championed by politicians themselves, which we are classifying as COVID politics, and then also they are spinning from the same social media. For instance, we had a case in Inakonde, where a leader of the second largest party in Zambia, the opposition leader, went live during a COVID environment like this, where you would do, instead of practicing what we are expecting to be positive, he went on the other side, inciting residents. And it ended up in a very bad scenario. in the sense that part of our members, they went to attack the journalists who are conveyors of such politics. So these are some of the challenges that we have. You find that from that incident, it goes on now, you find that it becomes the normal debate. So we are asking our leaders to desist from such specific instances from occurring, because as we are facing this pandemic, it's something which is very serious and it's ravaging havoc. And the other one which I talked about is that one of Dollar Syria. Others who are just bent on saying, people, there's no COVID. The Patriotic Front government is trying to just create a mileage out of this COVID disease when it's not there. But you have seen, even when the coming up of one honorable Dollar Syria that she's sick, we are supposed to realize that even the people on the forefront now, they are getting affected. We are supposed to get united. But others, you find it's an opportunity now to start attacking maybe the personalities, the minister herself, or the party which is in power. So basically, those are some of the things that social media, to be specific, that it is presenting before us. And we are finding it extremely difficult to handle such individuals and institutions.
And you are tuned to United Voice Radio 92.9 FM, and we are broadcasting on that frequency here in Lusaka and surrounding towns. And for those that are unable to catch us on that particular frequency, you can also get to visit our Facebook page, that is United Voice Radio at 92.9 FM. And on that particular page, you will find a link that which you can follow and get to stream live, get to listen to us online from wherever that you may be in in the world. And Mr. Mkondo, there are some arguments that abusive social media information sharing happens when public officials in public institutions mandated with the traditional or legacy media like television, radio, and talk of posters and billboards. What do you think about this view?
Well, it's true that misinformation can start from elected official, as you have rightly said, in the United States, where you find the president, even the issue of masking up, they have an issue with the president. He has not seen in public masking up. And then also the Brazilian arrangement, where you find that the president also there is not taking it seriously. And then we also go to UK, where our prime minister there was not taking it seriously. He was seen even shaking hands with everybody, those who were affected. And what happened? We all know that he got infected and he was almost dying. So the challenge that we have on a global scale is we have leaders who are taking this COVID-19 in a very different way. And then when it comes to here, Zambia, we are very thankful that so far so good. We have leaders like the same Michilema, whom I talked about, the Nakonde incidents. When it comes to masking, he has been demonstrating to everyone that we need to mask ourselves. He has been an example of those people who have been championing the masking up. Wherever you have, you go public. So these are the positive side of leadership that we want. And then not on that, the donation that he made to the frontline people. Those are the challenges that we want everybody to come. If we talk about Tayali, also came forth, and he also did this donation with sanitizers. So basically, when it comes to leadership, especially our president, Edgar Chagwa, we have not have those divergent views whereby he has not said he's not recognized COVID, but from day one, is a leader who has united us. So let us support him in this cause so that he may lead us out of this pandemic. So for one, the leader that we have is very good at handling such cases, the predicament in which we are in, because he's a man of few words. And where you have few words, at least you find that there will be a little misleading. And when it comes to our health minister, who has been delegated, whom the president had delegated the duty of this COVID, it's very encouraging that he is a professional, a medical practitioner. of international standard, and he has been communicating and disseminating the information the way it's supposed to be. So with us on the ground, especially being party functionaries, we are also urging others that we move together as brothers and sisters until we see that this disease is behind us. So, as you have rightly said, once the public individuals, those who have been mandated to help this country to get out of this pandemic, if they do not agree, just merely they start questioning things like the wearing of masks, the sanitizers themselves, and then also the existence of COVID, would have lost the ground by now. But we are gravitating along this same principle of this is a medical pandemic, and we have to use science to overcome it, to use the knowledge that we have, and then the secondly, we have to be historical about it and factual about the same pandemic, and thirdly, to follow what the international organization, World Health Organization, is preaching to us, so that at the end of the day, we move in tandem with what is happening across the world.
Okay, so people are more likely to believe and share information when the message is clear and simple, when they trust the source of message and the channel through which it is conveyed. Now, what do you think about the possibility of people turning to deceptive social media channels when they don't have confidence in public media and some private media institutions?
You know, that's a very cardinal point. And for us as a patriotic fund, we would want to urge our people out there that they should always trust the means of health as the major source of information here in Zambia. And then the president himself, the Republican president, has give us the right updates, because they are very cardinal to the way we are operating. Is the key, is the main man who is either closing or opening the doors of our businesses, of our livelihoods, wherever we are. And then secondly, we have to update ourselves from the World Health Organization. And there are a lot of centers which have been scattered across the world. And one of them is the Center of Disease Center for